Today, we're honored to welcome Kay Barnett as our featured commencement speaker. Kay is the Chief Executive Officer of Advent Health Mineola, the brand new hospital in Mineola. She began her career with Advent Health in 2011 and has held various roles in strategy, business development, and internal communications throughout a glorious 15-year tenure with the organization. Most recently, she led the opening of the brand new state-of-the-art 80-bed Advent Health Mineola Hospital in December of 2025. A Nebraska native, Kay graduated from Union Adventist University with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with emphasis in marketing and a minor in communications. Kay is passionate about leveraging her background in business and communications to support the daily work of caregivers and the impact they make in our community. Please join me in welcoming Kay Barnett to the podium.
Well, congratulations, graduates, and congratulations to the parents, family, and friends who are here today. I had a front row seat, graduates, to see the faces that were greeting you as you walked in this door, and it was an amazing sight to see the tears and smiles and waves that many of you were greeted with. It's the day you've been waiting for, and I'm sure this commencement address is the highlight you've most anticipated. Let's be honest, we all know that I'm the last person you have to listen to before that diploma is placed in your hands. But think about this. Today, you will join the 48% of Americans who hold a post-high school degree. You have officially attained more education than the average American. So my question for you today is this moment a have to or a get to? Do you have to listen to a commencement address, or do you get to commemorate a hard-earned degree? Do you have to take photos for your mom after this ceremony, or do you get to capture memories? This simple shift of a single word has the power to pivot one's entire mindset in any circumstance. It moves the mindset from a place of obligation to that of gratitude. A story was once told of a man going on a long trip. He called together his workers and shared that he would be entrusting his money to them while he was gone. He gave 5 bags of silver to one, 2 bags of silver to another worker, and 1 bag of silver to the last. And then he left on his trip. The worker who received the 5 bags of silver began to invest the money and earned 5 more. The worker with 2 bags of silver also went to work and earned 2 more. But the worker who received a single bag of silver dug a hole in the ground and hid the money. After a long time, the man returned from his trip and called them to give an account of how they had used his money. The worker to whom he had entrusted 5 bags of silver came forward with 5 more and said, "Sir, you gave me 5 bags of silver to invest, and I have earned 5 more." The man was full of praise. "Well done, my good and faithful servant. You have done well in handling this small amount. So now I will give you many more responsibilities. Let's celebrate together." The worker who had received 2 bags of silver also came forward and said, "Sir, you have given me 2 bags of silver to invest, and I have earned 2 more. The man said, "Well done, you have been faithful in handling this small amount. So now I will give you many more responsibilities. Let's celebrate." Then the servant with 1 bag of silver came and said, "Sir, I knew you were a harsh man. I was afraid to lose your money, so I hid it in the ground." Perhaps you've heard this story before. It's often shared with us to remind us to be good stewards of the resources entrusted to each of us. But put yourself in the shoes of each of these workers. The worker with 5 bags of silver, he was entrusted with more than anybody else. He was given the most responsibility, and he had the most at stake, with no guarantee of any reward upon his leader's return. On the other hand, you have the worker with 1 bag of silver. In comparison to his counterparts, this was a simple task. Perhaps it was so simple that he underestimated the opportunity. At the heart of all of this, did the worker have to watch over his leader's belongings, or did he get to be entrusted with a resource? This shift in mindset, the difference between have to and get to, is the difference that defined each individual in this story, each one leaving a very different legacy in his wake. If you thought that today's graduation was the finish line, I have news to share with you. Today is just the starting line. The challenges and hurdles will not disappear, and they will likely get harder. You are being entrusted with a resource, your degree. And now you will have the question to ask yourself, do I have to wake up early for work, or do I get to start building my future? Do I have to put myself out there, or do I get to meet people who can shape my journey? Do I have to leave my comfort zone, or do I get to discover who I can become? Who knows, maybe someday President Temple will be calling one of you forward to this stage, asking you to give a commencement address, and you will have to ask yourself, do I have to write a graduation speech, or do I get to share my heart with my community? So my question for you today is this: how will you be a steward of your legacy? I can't wait to see the work you get to do.